Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Happy Monday. Mindset Monday. I know we're probably going to have a little bit lighter crowd because I think Brian Fryer is doing a Reels training as well this evening. And so for those that are coming to hang with me, that just means you like me better than Brian. And I think that's cool. And so you guys are all going on my special list, so it's all good. You guys are all getting special Christmas cards from me this year. Everyone else is getting off the list. Just kidding. Good to see everyone. What's going on? We got a fun call tonight, and this is going to be a good one. My hope is that you guys get your team to watch this recording, because I think there's going to be some good nuggets in here. I got a lot of good pieces from part 2 of Courage is Calling from Ryan Holiday, and this part 2 is all on courage. It's really the focus of the book, but this part is really great, and I took some fun pieces out of it, and hopefully you will get some value this evening. But make sure, do me a favor, if you haven't let me know where you're watching from, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. If you have, take this next minute and text some people on your team, say, hey, come hang out. If you're not watching the Reels training, come hang out like Peter Sterling, like Pia Davis. You come hang out with me like Lynn and David Rayner. Oh, what's going on, brother? You got the man in the back there.
David, he's saying, what's going on?
Hey, man, I'm just in my robe.
So hey, I was about to say,
that way, but hey.
Just entered the chat, so it's all good. Y'all ladies, just divert your eyes. He is taken. He is a happily taken man. He just wanted to show off a little of the goods. And David, he works out. I don't blame him. I love him. You guys, we got to have fun on these Mindset Mondays. It's Monday. I'm Mondayed out. It's been a Monday to end all Mondays. And so it's been a busy day. I've been on Zooms all day long, calls all day long, back to back. What's going on from Tennessee? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. So we're going to get started here in just a minute. But make sure if anyone else is hopping on, let them know this is the place to be. I'm going to make this call pretty tight. Ashley, what's going on, honey? How are you? Good to see you. Happy Monday. And so, yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to keep it tight. Got about 2 pages of notes. Nothing crazy. But got some good stuff. Again, we are covering part 2 of Courage is Calling by Ryan Holiday. And look at all these Tennessee folks in the chat. I love it. Eric is calling out the teamies. I love it. Part two is called Courage, and that's what I really like about this part, because it's the main focal point of the entire book. And as we start this call, I've said this before and I'll say it again, write this down in your notes. I'm going to ask you guys to write some stuff down tonight. So get a pen, get a piece of paper, and write this down, because I want you to reflect on a few things tonight. I want you to reflect on a little bit tonight with me. And I know you've probably thought this before, but I want you to write it down. I want you to write down, if not me, then who? And then I want you to write down, if not now, then when? I want you to write that down. If not me, then who? And if not now, then when? I'm so proud of the folks that continuously show up on this call on a regular basis, because it's showing me that you're taking one of the most important steps in your journey, which is the preparedness that allows you the ability to go into your season of success. I've said it before, and I'll say a lot of stuff I've said before, but I'm going to say it again tonight. The reality is that you don't need to be a comp plan expert to be $1 million earner in network marketing. You don't need to be a product expert to be $1 million earner in network marketing. I wrote this down. I want you to ask yourself this question. Are those that are more successful than you right now in this business, those that are more successful than you, are they better than you? Think about that. Think about all those at the Happy Co that just walked the stage, that got recognized as diamonds, or they got recognized as Royal Black, or like Brian Heflin, Royal Crown Ambassador. I mean, is he better than you? Or are they just more prepared? Are they more prepared for the obstacles? Are they more prepared for the failures? Are they just more prepared? I think all of us can agree that Brian all the way down, there's not a single person in this company that's better than you. They are just more prepared than you. Encourage is all about being willing to do the work to become prepared for that explosive season. And what he talks about in this book is a lot of times that explosive season is a 20-second decision. A lot of times all you need is 20 seconds of all-out courage, of all-out just, I don't care what I look like, I don't care how I come off, 20 seconds to pass the threshold of comfortability and into the space of, this water's not that cold. Man, I dipped my toe in. I thought it was going to be, there's no way I'm jumping. I jumped in and you know, it's not that bad. So I want you to be thinking about that this evening. Are those that are more successful than you, not even in the Happy Co, but in life, in business, are they better than you? No, they're just more prepared. He goes on to say a whole part on speaking truth to power. And I thought this was an amazing topic because especially within our businesses, speaking truth to power, how often are you owning the hardships that your business possesses? How often are you owning those hardships? Sorry, I'm getting a million emails coming through right now. And so if you guys hear that little bleep every 2 seconds, I apologize. I thought about this. Many of you have probably never done this, nor have I, but I've seen them before. Do you know how thick the franchise contract is? Put a 1 in the comments if any of you have ever owned a franchise before. I don't know if you've ever owned a franchise before, but if you have, the contract, for instance, for like a McDonald's franchise is about that thick. And you've got to sign your name like 100 times. Do you know what you're signing all those times? You're signing that you understand the risk associated with that investment. You're understanding that things might not go right. You're understanding that they put it up front right off the bat. This might not go this way. It might not work out for you. You're taking a risk with your business. And for some, look at in every form of entrepreneurship, look at the drug, go turn on your TV this evening and wait for a drug commercial to come on. The whole time that people are laughing and frolicking in the park, they're sitting there saying, this could cause massive diarrhea. You could throw up uncontrollably. You could die. You could have seizures that last for 10 years. You could have, like the whole time, the whole commercial. People still buy that drug or they wouldn't do the commercials. The reality is, I think sometimes we hide from the hardships in our business because we think it's making us stronger. And I think that far too often we need to take ownership of the good and the potential downside of what our business possesses. Those that are looking to take advantage of your time will try to poke holes in that. Those that are looking for an opportunity will see the opportunity. They'll see the risk and they'll say it's worth it. But it's a lot better to understand the risk coming in than to have people come in not understanding the risk and to feel like they were duped. And so again, a level of courage is to say, I'm not going to hide behind that it's all going to be great and it's going to be awesome and nothing could ever go wrong and the products are going to have an amazing result for you. You know what? Anyone that asks me about our products, say if they're looking to have like, I've got like pain or something like that, I instantly say, for sure, but you should take our products and go consult your doctor. Make sure that it doesn't conflict with anything you're taking right now. Go talk to a doctor, have them check out the ingredients, have them look it over and tell them that you're looking to take this supplement and see if it fits into what you're taking. It adds validity. Again, when they're looking at the business side of the opportunity, go take it to someone business savvy. Go take it. Go have someone else check it out. Go vet out the opportunity. Don't believe me. Go do your own research. When they ask you, only 1% of people succeed in network marketing. You're darn right. It's a performance-based business, of course. You don't get paid for the time that you put into this. You get paid for the performance you put into this. Network marketing is the one profession that does not care the amount of time that you put in. It will pay you to the penny for the value that you bring to the space, though. So, in that vein, I want you to be able to start having the courage to speak truth to your power. And that doesn't mean that you're just like, oh my gosh, it could be a total failure for you. It just means that you have a sense of ownership of the realities of the business. Yes, it is difficult. It's not easy. It's not simple. It's not overnight money. There is a level of personal development that comes with this. There's an aspect of building relationships with new people. If that's really uncomfortable for you, this might be difficult. And now a big aspect of what we do is exposing these incredible products. We are the word of mouth advertisers. We are the commercials. We are the newspaper ads. We're the radio commercials. That's what we are. So if that's uncomfortable for you, then for sure, this might not be for you. And while there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, there is a potential that you get involved in this and things for you might not work out long-term. The great thing about this is you won't be out any money because every one of our packs that include a business is filled with product that equal the value of the pack. So even if things don't work out for you long-term, you will not have lost any money in the business. All you will be into is for product that you can use and hopefully you enjoy for your family. And so I think that if it makes you so much stronger, in my opinion, because people are a lot smarter than I think we give them credit for sometimes, especially when we're prospecting them. And when we try to paint it as all rainbows and sunshine, they pretty often go, okay, sure. So I want you to be very cognizant of that. And I think that, again, when we speak power, truth to the power, when we own some of that stuff, a lot of your prospects will, I think, and what I've seen in the past, they will respect you much, much more. And again, on the backside, if people do get involved in your business, you eliminate the opportunity for them to walk away saying, screw you. You told me it was this, you told me it was this, and it didn't happen like that. Everyone is constantly worried. I'm worried I'm going to ruin friendships. I'm worried I'm going to ruin relationships. I'm worried I'm going to bring someone I love into the business and they're not going to succeed and they're going to blame me. This is how you avoid that. On the front end, you take ownership. The next thing when it comes to courage is taking a strong look at your personal and your inner circle. Personal development is the fastest way to identify if you are in the right circle. What do they always say? They say fools talk about other people. I think that it's, good people talk about, places and things and the really smart people talk about ideas. And so I want you to think just today in your life. I butchered that quote, I'm sure, but take today, for instance, in your life and think back on the conversations that you've had in the day. Think back to your life, your job. If you went into work, think about the conversations that you had. Think about the people that you talk to. When you're in those circles, are the conversations serving you? Or are you in a circle that you feel like, again, it's just kind of that comfortable? These are hard questions. But again, when you get into personal development, you start taking a hard look at the people in your life. And if you're constantly revolved around people that are going, oh, life is so bad, sucks, I'm broke, I don't have anything, I don't have any time, and let's get together and just complain. You need to be willing to take a look at that. And the biggest thing this is so important. I was talking to my brother about this today. This is so important, is to not beat yourself up once you become consciously aware of the changes that you need to make in your life. This is where so many people get bogged down, is they literally start to hammer themselves. When you become consciously, it's like this cognizant like awareness becomes over you, and you're like, oh my gosh, like no one in my life is serving me right now. Like everyone in my life is like either bringing me down or is like a weight to my past. Like every time I try to bring myself up, they all pull me back in here. Like you get so aware of it that you're like, oh my gosh, you start to beat yourself up. Like I am just so stupid. Like I can't believe I've done this. Like, and instead of doing what in my opinion is the right thing, which is just making small aware changes on a daily basis, little things, you will repeatedly beat yourself up and stay in the pattern. Just sit there in that circle of those people that are talking about whatever happened on TMZ last night. And you're like, just in your head, you're like, this is so dumb. Oh, I'm such an idiot for being here. I'm such an idiot for hanging around these people. This is not serving me. But you sit in the circle and you just beat yourself up. It's like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. It makes no sense. So I'm inviting you in these little circles, once you become consciously aware, how can you make little, small changes? We talked about it last month with Atomic Habits. Little changes. You walk into a circle of a conversation that's not serving you, you walk out of that circle and go put some personal development on. You get on a conversation with someone that just wants to be drama, have the boundaries to be able to say, you know what, this conversation, I got to run. You know what? I've got a bunch of stuff stacking up right now and I got to go. Slowly start to let your circle know that you are rising above and entering into a new energy space. Those that do not like it will naturally ostracize themselves out of your life. They'll just naturally go away. 5 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago now, when I started calling, I've told this before, I called every single family member in my life every month for a year. And the only purpose of that call was an effort for me to start working on gratitude and not being that person that's always calling to talk to people about me, but really focusing on the relationships, being able to pour greatness into others. My habit to do that was to start calling every member of my family every month with the sole intention to just tell them how much I love them, tell them how much they mean to me, how proud I was of them. That was the only goal of the phone call. What I learned through that is that made some of my family members that wanted to vibrate at a lower level very uncomfortable. After about 4 or 5 months, they stopped answering my call. Did it mean I stopped calling? Nope. I do what I do for me, not for them. I'm doing it because I want to be living a life that if I am no longer here, that everyone in my life knows how much I loved them, how much I care about them, how much they matter to me. And that exercise itself helped me be able to step out into the world so that every interaction that I have or I work to have is a positive. I'm leaving the person that I was just talking to or was just interacting with better for have interacted with me. That is my goal with every single conversation, every interaction I have in my life. But again, be very aware, have the courage to look at your circle, have the courage to look at your network and ask yourself, is this network serving me? And do not be afraid of a lonely season. Sometimes lonely seasons are the seasons where you will have the most growth and you will be able to find the best people. There are people that are waiting to be a part of your life that are going to help you grow, that are waiting till you clear out the trash so that they can come in. Not to say that everyone in your life is trash or bad, but I think that we can all identify some people that aren't serving us, that aren't cheering you on, that aren't bringing you up. So next, just a few seconds of courage. I want to tell you guys a story, just a few seconds of courage. Now, this just goes to life. And this, again, goes to stepping out of your comfort zone. Now, just about every time I travel, I do the same thing. My mother was my grandmother, my dad's mother, my grandma Patty. She's an unbelievable woman. She retired from the airlines. She worked for the airlines for about 25 years. She always told me, my whole life growing up, you treat those flight attendants and you treat those that work at the airport, you treat them kind, as they are constantly, she would tell me all the horror stories. And so as I started my professional career and started to fly a lot, I kind of got a habit of, and I would really only do it, and not to be bougie, but I would only really do it when I was in first class, and I'll explain why in a minute. But when I was in first class, I would always, before I boarded the flight, if there was the ability, a lot of airports have little donut shops or whatever, I would go buy a half dozen donuts every flight. And I would bring them on the flight, and I would give them to the pilots. Can't eat them. You'll find that out very quickly. They can't eat any food that they don't get themselves. But I would give them to the flight attendants when I got on the plane, and just say, hey, these are for you. I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys want to eat them, I know you guys are always running. You don't get breaks. You don't get snacks. Here's something for you. Did it every flight. I say that why I did in first class, because a lot of the times, I don't know if there's like a psychological thing, but if you're sitting in coach, I've done it a couple times, and they're like, no, we're good. We're good, thank you. I don't know what it is about it, but when you're sitting in first class, they're like, oh, thanks for the donuts. When you're in coach, they're like, did you spike these? You gonna try and knock us out? What's going on? But on one particular day, I brought donuts on, and I had given them to half the flight attendants. I had like 2 Krispy Kremes left, and we're flying. And on takeoff, there was a baby that's ears popped, about 7 rows back from me. And for the entire flight, for about an hour and a half straight, this baby was just screaming like a scream, not like a cry, but like a scream that like made you uncomfortable. And to be honest, for like the first 30, 45 minutes, I had my AirPods in, so I didn't hear anything. And then I took them out, a little bit in, and person sitting next to me said, oh my God, it's been going on for forever. And immediately I had something come over me. And I this was like the first time I had really ever, I've done, random acts of kindness and stuff like that in my life. And I preach unconscious acts of kindness, but this was something different for me. And I as a father, I think anyone that has a child knows that on airplanes, there's a couple little things you can do to help pop their ears. Little babies can't obviously chew gum. If they're a toddler, you give them some gum and they can chew that for a minute, it'll help them pop. But there's a trick with babies, which is a sucker. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure a lot of mothers know this, but if you give a baby, a toddler, a sucker, like a little baby, a sucker, and they suck on it for a minute, it can help pop their ears. So I decided I had to do something, because I got up, and what I looked around and saw was that everyone on this flight was physically, visibly miserable. Like they were all like pulling their hair out, like uncontrollably miserable. And I was like, it was just like, I don't know, something came over. I was just like, I'm going to do something. And so I got up, and it was super uncomfortable, but I went row to row. And I asked every single person row to row if anyone had any suckers. And I obviously asked a lot of the people with parents, and the parents that had kids on the flight, do you have any suckers? Do you have anything to suck on? Do you have any suckers? Finally found a mother at the very back of the plane that had some suckers, and with her 2 kids. And I gave them my Krispy Kremes. I had 2 Krispy Kremes left. I gave them the Krispy Kremes. I went up and I gave the baby that sucker. And literally within 20 seconds, the baby's ears popped, fell right asleep. And the baby was asleep. And literally the plane started applauding. The plane started like cheering. I got off that flight and I made a post on social media, and I talked a little bit about that story. And at the end of the post, I said, this post could have easily read, just got off the worst flight of my life, unbelievable, baby screaming the whole time. Oh, don't you hate it when that happens? Easily. And I don't call it really courageous, but I think it's just in those moments where so often we find ourselves looking back saying, I wish I would have. I wish I would have. And I personally, and what I want to give to you is the courage to never have to look back on a moment and say, I wish I would have. to always be the person to step in, to always be the person to step up, to always be that person wherever it might be in your life. Later in the book, Ryan Holiday has a quote from General James Madison. And he was asked, what keeps you up at night? And while the answer to this question has a different meaning, I hope it sinks in for you. He says, what keeps you up at night? Before he could even finish the question, guess what he said? He said, I keep people up at night. Think about that for a minute. I want you to think back to when you were first introduced to the Happy Co. I want you to think about who showed it to you. I want you to think about when the light bulb first went off about how exciting this opportunity was. And I wanted you to think about, was it hard to sleep that night? So excited, so filled with opportunity and what the future could look like. I want you guys to adopt the quote of General James Madison. When people say, what keeps you up at night? I keep people up at night. My goal is to fill people with so much excitement, so much passion for the future that they can't fall asleep. I keep people up at night. Because again, what he talks about is courage is contagious. Courage is contagious. One courageous people or one courageous person in a group of weak-minded individuals can change them all. One person not willing to go with the flow. One person willing to be the rock in the river. It is contagious. I wrote this quote down and I laughed about it. Just use this. You can use this in your teams. This just made me giggle. In your world, in your organization, are you the one that they're calling, or are you the one that they're calming down? When things go wrong, when things are awry, are you the one that your team is calling? Because you're the courageous one. You're the one that says, we've got this. It's all good. It's going to get figured out. Don't focus on that. Let's focus on this. Or are you the one that needs to be calmed down? That one messed with me. Are you the one they're calling? Or are you the one that they're calming down? Because as we know, fortune favors the bold. I want you to think about, put your city in the comments that you're in right now. What's your city or town? What's your city or town? Put it in the comments. What's the name of your city or your town? So far, minus 2 cities, every one of you is from a different city. What is stopping you? My father did something back in the day when he was building, and I thought it was very powerful, and I've been trying to find a way to do it via Zoom, but it's not a very effective way. My father used to do this. He would put up a map in a meeting. Like this, a map of the United States, North America. He put it up on the map. He put it up on the screen, like a physical map, corkboard map. And he would ask everyone, just like I'm asking you guys, to come up and claim your territory. Like the movie Far and Away. Raise your hand if you've seen that movie with Tom Hanks and what's her name? Old school movie with not Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Anyone seen that movie? So there's a scene in that movie where they are basically going west to take over the new frontier. And all of these men and women line up on horseback, and they've got all their wagons, and every single person is handed a post with a white flag. And they're literally looking over thousands of acres of land, just empty, just open land for just forever. And with the shot of a gun, they all take off. And they can go as far or as short as they want. But wherever they stop, they plant their flag and they claim that territory, and it's theirs. They own it. I want to ask you, what is stopping you from owning your town in your city? What is stopping you from being so bold and so loud in your space in all the right ways? Because again, remember, bold and loud is only good when you are prepared. Bold and loud when you are unprepared is spammy and gross. Right? What is stopping you from owning your city? What is stopping you from being known as the happy guy or gal in your city? What I can tell you is every one of your businesses would 10x if you had 5 like-minded individuals in your town that you could go out and do business strategy meetings with every single week. Every single one of your businesses. 10x. Sandy Craft, if you had wine night with the 5 of your amazing girlfriends and you guys went out once a week and just business strategized, and they were all hungry and they were all pulling you into the future saying, what are we going to do next week? How many people are we going to talk to? There's a trade show going on in town over here. Should we get a booth? Let's do something to expose some more people. How much more fun would that be? Now, again, a lot of us are waiting for those people to just fall in our lap. You got to go find them. You got to find them. We did a conversation blitz last Thursday. Well over 10,000 new conversations were started in less than 24 hours. The result of that was an incredible amount of new customers that came in just by starting new conversations. And then we had the amazing coach Brian Fryer on Saturday doing over an hour of a masterclass teaching you how to bridge the gap. And not only that, but how to effectively funnel your prospects through a system that will not keep you following up with them every single day. I'm going to finish with this. And it might sound harsh, but I say it with love. Do your job. Just do your job. If your job is to only do 2 things, be a professional relationship builder and to be a professional door opener to these opportunities, or this opportunity in these products, that's your only job. That's it. Don't look at Facebook posting as work, because that's not income producing activity. That's leading towards income producing activity. That's the pre-work. That's not the work. Scrolling, adding friends, creating, building your network, that's not work. That's getting ready to do the work. The second that you start engaging in a new relationship, start asking questions, purposefully listening with an intention to provide a solution to a problem that might be presented to you, that is when you are doing the work. So I say with all the love in my heart, do not get it misconstrued, and do not find yourself in a consistent scroll hole or a time-wasting space where you are convincing yourself that you are putting a lot of time and energy into something that is not serving you. Last thing I want to say is make them proud. Everyone that's watching you right now, make them proud. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a brother or a sister, a mother, a father, a sibling, a friend. Make them proud. Not by all the money that you make. Make them proud by the growth that you attain. Make them proud by the life that you live. Make them proud by the fact that your life is surrounded by helping other people live a better life. So many of us get so selfishly focused on the fear of what people are going to think of us that we miss the blessing that's waiting on the other end. Make them proud. For all those that are watching you, all those haters out there, for anyone that might be wishing that you fail, that you give up, let them be your fuel. Love them. Make them proud too. Think about that. Have the courage to boldly walk forward. Have the courage to identify your circle and to even more so identify it if it is serving you. Have the love for yourself to know that it is not that anyone is better than you, that they might just be more prepared than you. And if someone's more prepared than you, that's a really amazing thing to know because you have the ability to prepare. Have the courage to speak truth to your power. Have the courage to own your hardships when it comes to what it is that we do. Do not present a toilet seat made out of gold. Present some reality. You're going to get the right people in your business if you do. Have the courage to step out of your comfort zone and never to be left with the phrase in your head, I wish I would have. I wish I would have stepped in. I wish I would have helped that person. I mean, I just did today. I was at the grocery store and I was literally getting in my car. There was a lady that was pushing her cart, an older lady from like 30 feet away. And it was like that snap decision where you're like, oh, I want to go help her. But like, she's like too far away. Like by the time I get there, like you're doing all this quick math in your head. Like, is it even going to be worth it for me to help her by the time I get to her? But it was just like, run over there, run over, just help. And I only got the car to hold 5. Ma'am, I got that for you. And I just pushed an extra like 10 feet for her and she was able to, there's just the little things, the snap decisions that I didn't have to drive away going, I should have helped her. I should have gone and done that. Have the courage to not live with those thoughts. Understand that your courage is contagious. Understand that whether or not you see it, others are feeding off of the courage that you choose or choose not to possess.
One thing.
Have the courage and the willingness to look at yourself and how you have been in your journey in network marketing and ask yourself, am I the one that my team is calling when things get hard, or am I the one that needs to be calmed down? Think really hard about your city and ask yourself, do I have the courage to own this city? And how much more fun would it be to build this business if I had a handful of like-minded rock stars that were pushing me forward every single day? What I'm here to tell you is that handful of people exists. They're just waiting for you. Do the work and make them proud. Always remind yourself, have the courage to be able to look at yourself and say, I am not doing income producing activity. I need to be focusing on the right behaviors. If I want what others aren't going to get, I have to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. You guys, I hope this call has been of value to you this evening. I hope that you guys have gotten some notes. I hope that this has been worth your time. I hope that you know that I appreciate you so much. I am very, very excited for the What's Up Weekly that we have starting this Wednesday, as I've got some really amazing information to give you. We've got some really, really good stuff coming. And so make sure that not only you, but your teams are tuning into What's Up Weekly this week. And then our Super Saturday, this Saturday. I don't know what to tell you if you choose not to bring any prospects to this call. In my opinion, you are doing yourself a major disservice. All week long, if I was you, I'd be calling everyone I know, say, oh my gosh, I'm going to get you registered. Just send me your email and I'm going to register you for this call. All you got to do is put their name and their email, go to the link, register them, and we'll send them an email before the call. You don't even have to send them an email or send them a link or anything. We'll do it all for them. All you have to do is register your prospects. Just say, hey, send me your email and I'll get you registered. Get everyone you know registered for this call. Every single person you know. We are going to bring the fire with some unbelievable brand partners delivering a presentation on the opportunity, the products, the company. We're going to have Rob Sperry doing an unbelievable getting started training to follow it up. And so do not miss out on the chance for us to do the work for you when it comes to exposing this incredible opportunity and how to get started right to your prospects. With that being said, I love each and every one of you. I'm praying for you guys daily. I wish nothing but the best. Most success for each and every one of you. Until we see you soon, have a blessed and abundant evening. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.